matchup. So the Bills now get the opportunity to play the lowest seed, the 7th seed, which right now is the Dolphins. If the playoffs started today, the Steelers would face the Indianapolis Colts, who, as it turns out, they end up facing next week anyway. So let's take a look at this. Obviously, the first half was a big part of the reason why the Steelers fell flat here. How did you see it start to unravel for Pittsburgh, TD?
I mean, mistakes. I mean, you watched it early on. Juju has the fumble. You let a team like the Bengals stick around. And the Cincinnati Bengals had more energy. They were playing like the team that had won 11 games instead of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they just kept bringing it. You know, they were more physical than the Steelers, and the Steelers kept giving them opportunities with, again, the snap fumble right here, as you see right there. I mean, you had the interception by Big Ben. You know, when you play teams like this, no matter what a record is, you have to play well. And the Steelers, it's concerning because they're not playing extremely well. Over their last 4 games now, they're averaging 17 points per game. That ain't going to get it done. They ain't going to get it done. And their team, as far as their offense, yeah, they ran the ball 84 yards today. You know, Benny Snell had a decent day running the football, but it wasn't enough to control the game. And so this team just seems like they're disjointed. They're not playing with any confidence right now. Deontay Johnson, you know, he had the nice touchdown pass, but he's got the drops, and he's not feeling real confident about his hands. So, you know, this team, I really feel like they are going the opposite direction, and you know, from where they need to be at this time of the season. They got 2 more games to try to get things right. But the Steelers don't feel like they are an 11-3 team to me. They look like they're more of a 7-9 squad the way they're playing right now.
TD, you're absolutely right, man. We watched this Pittsburgh Steelers start off 11-0. I mean, everybody was saying, is this the best team in football? And you watch them these last couple of weeks, and they are just not in rhythm on the offensive side of the ball. And we know division games are tough. We know it doesn't matter your record. When you get in these division games, it is a dogfight every single time. So you should have expected this tonight. But watching this Pittsburgh Steelers offense just totally out of sync, and it starts with the guy under center, and that is Big Ben. I mean, you see some of these throws. I mean, yeah, Juju was dancing on the circle, but oh my, you just gonna throw him into this Big Ben? Are you mad at him, Big Ben, for doing that? Because you can't just throw him into that, running into that zone like that. That is just bad football by Big Ben. And a lot of these throws we're seeing he was not making early in the season, and now you're seeing them show up. And it's not like the receivers are just blanketed. It's guys that are wide open and Big Ben not making the throws. But you're right, TD. This Pittsburgh Steelers football team is going backwards, and it's not looking good for them right now, especially with these playoff teams in the AFC.
Bengals snap a 10-game losing streak to the Steelers, their first win over Pittsburgh since 2015. But you brought up the Juju Smith-Schuster pregame antics, the TikTok situation. It's not the first time we've seen it from him, but JJ, should he have been prepared for what was going to happen tonight?
Well, you better be prepared. I mean, as TD knows, when you step on somebody's logo, when you're disrespecting somebody's logo, and you're doing a dance on somebody's logo, we take that personal. This is our home field. We take that personal. So you better be ready to come out on this football field and back it up, Juju, because you better believe that everybody is seeing this in that Cincinnati locker room, and they ready to come after you, especially the guys on the defensive side of the rock. But you cannot do this. This is disrespect. You do not get on somebody else's logo and do what you're doing. That's disrespectful. And they showed it tonight. I mean, we seen the big hit, but we even seen some of the guys taunting Juju after, like, all right, you done started it. Now you're going to have to figure out a way to back it up because we coming after you every play, brother.
You can't pay for that kind of motivation if you're Zach Taylor. I mean, this is what head coaches love. I mean, they can't give a rah-rah speech good enough to motivate their squad. So when Juju does that to the home field, man, the amount of energy and juice you've just given a team, you've given them focus, you've given them purpose to go out there and play well. And to me, it's like, why? Why is that even necessary? Like, he might be having fun and think it's cute and think it's harmless. But no, the players don't see it that way. Fans don't see it that way. And to be able to get a team's focus in the manner in which he got it today, to me, you're doing your club a disservice when you do things like that. You know, you just riling up the troops and getting them all fired up to play a game. And they came out there and they showed you that they really didn't like what you were doing.
Whole different ball game doing that in the road stadium as it is doing that in your home stadium. So now for the Pittsburgh Steelers here, TD, they've lost 3 in a row after starting the season 11-0. They've dropped from the 2 spot to the 3 spot in the AFC. What does this tell you about their playoff potential this season?
Well, let me just put it into context, because when I was with Denver, we won 13 games in a row. Then we lost 2 straight games in a row. And so we were able to bounce back and sort of get that good taste back in our mouth. I'm not saying, in this case, I don't know if the Steelers can do that. I'm saying that this team, they've shown me over a 4-week span that they just don't, that whatever magic they had early in the season, it's not there. They're not on the same page. They don't look like a confident bunch out there. They can't push people off the ball. They struggle for weeks to get the 4th and 1, 4th and goal situations. So to me, if they make it in, they look like a one-and-done squad to me. And they'll have to prove me wrong, but that's what I see them as, a team that can make it into the postseason, but they're going to have one game and they're heading on vacation.
You know, I'm watching these guys play, and they kind of remind me of ourselves when we went 15-1. Playing good football, we drop a game against the Kansas City Chiefs, and after that, we found a way to win, but we were not playing good football. And we're sitting there, and yeah, we got a good record, and we like, all right, playoffs coming around, we're going to get this thing turned around. But it was false confidence. We were not playing good football, and we were trying to talk ourselves into who we were those first 14 games, and that's not who we were anymore. But it was false confidence. That's what I see with this Pittsburgh team. It is false confidence. You started 11-0. You think you're going to get out of this. You think you're going to snap out of it, but you're not. This is who you are. You are not good on the offensive side of the ball. Your defense is playing well, but you're turning the ball over. You're not getting explosive plays. You can't run the rock. So right now it's false confidence for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And like TD said, going into the playoffs with those teams that was at the bottom of the screen, the Colts, the Dolphins, the Browns, the Buffalo, obviously Kansas City. It's looking one and done to me.
Well, let me ask you this real quick, JJ. Do you think they recover enough to be able to still win this division? Because they got the Browns in Week 17.
I think it's going to be tough. It's going to come down to the last game, because I don't see as any way possible that they're going to find a way to beat the Indianapolis Colts. I just don't see that happening. So after this week, them and the Browns could be looking at the same record, and it coming down to the last week of the season. So Pittsburgh has to find a way to create some offense, and they need to find it fast, but I do not see that happening, Rhett.
All right, the Colts first, and then finishing the season with the Cleveland Browns. They got to fix things in a hurry here for the Steelers, who were playing with a heavy heart here today, as were 3 other franchises.